FM ikamida ngaikachi
Nimbulu naka wiki mnina sara live chuma ya nasingle biko kirba mulu chani semer ni ronga daira na barong wali chuma nanonda seba chani na single biko ngo wiki mnina sara live chuma donga ngona lala ngo kiro sana kesem chani batiki maramatai no veitalanoa no ulutaga barutaki na Waigaga batiki no Luveda do ulutaga vital kesem chuma no donua kada don mena ka wiki na itu tumbu kana don bisu sumara tadi tuki no ditavi membeli tir no Luveda membeli tanon da banua en veingauna e warra kirutu en visingan ni mataka darongo bobo langa ni bisi darongo siguna Waigaga e kuni maika rona darubo e laura ni chigubira una volta bula asingan ni do ke wada torlis no vida na bagsau tina bagsau ti karua dasingan ni darongo tu matanggali tugu bango iya yang baking go sena ngono go bikin no kanta sabo bolanga ni bisinga en darongo da na kisini kena laurai na kisini kena bangataki na Waigaga ni viva matenta ki tikina na kawai kabana da bulan kina na single bliko na founder ni drug free World Fiji maramatai Kalesi Volatabu baka ni sarbi ko chuma ya na single bliko sana uchango go tandolo chiki bikini na sar live chuma ki baka ndona taru ningan remoni taronga balangi se baka viti bikini na kanda ni baka rong chuma tai roni ni Sema tumai taru chuma be maramatai ke roni na kirono so chiki ni bikini and single bliko sana do magasara ka bibi talanga talo taru boro tegi na ngonongo edana tiu vitalo chiki single bliko edan don beka na semina baka doriti ko ada GPH ka lesung miki no maramatai menana gitalo chiki weekenda edan dona ngona leka ngango
Kata Meji, Zara's Varieties, Capital Insurance, Tradeway, Kina Volatali, and a lovely Fiona singer and a vocally can Vakarita in a Monday Woli, Kina Vinkaravi, Mine of Victor Van and the So, my Mike, my Vakagan did attack and a very little somewhere so. This showcase 2024, and a Kalima Kinakatina Katoli Chulai and a Vodafone Arena is over.
na Vakariba Malamala.
Nama kamay na non raw veitalanoa ko Atu Kurumudu ke Kalesi Volatabu and ulutaga na Waigaga ke ira na Luveda.
Promoda ka sarang live talanga na Facebook page ni VTFM. Ni kuwa mana tim kuro kinandua na Vakariba Malamala. VTFM ikamida ngaikachi.
Biki no kanda ni sama chugumai na no banua na tonda ko ke viti ni bulu na lube vitu ni vi toka di ulma ni vi se wurwura. Na bugni ngol bakangante na buli na taka biki na lube viti di sala ki tigo tunde ya na vi se wurwura ni sambul benak. Sa tinte nangono kiro ke vitalota lewat ke maramatai dingo machikana na ker mulu na bidanga na singa sawi bombo ni maramo soso libre vi uno ngol kina ya non suriti mai mele ke vita kina ka bimbi na vikaiso sa baka ngai ko sar kina bole we dan kira sana me voluti na kena bangata kina Waigaga na vivo matinita kila sa lagi tarasa rasiko na non rambula na Luveda na vi kornivuli na ngono ga dona tikina bimbi abang total bikin na borong chumai ke bako ni Sema chumai na live page ke live chugani kina na single bidikua ke baka nganre motor ngitai ana dona taru ke tarumai texau ni bulu benaka bikin na lubebiti mana via seburura ke bako ni via tarumai apakah bos mai baka Pertania se taru mai baka Pertania en ngi sanga chiko maramatai man ngi so chiko bikin na nomni taru en single bidiku obitar tar chugani en single bingo maramatai kimi chiko sar by GPH ni taru man na pa ya chiko by GPH
tena marama bitar taru kami mikiro veitalanoa veitalanoa na taru kana kasa atu chiko viti o konge matateke to na global initiative this is a global body na organization that looks at transnational crime. Baka samtang na kaya to viti go sini atu viti. These drugs is coming from somewhere. It's going to somewhere. So it becomes a transnational crime. So it's not just locally here, but international as well. Because where are the support? What support there needs to happen here? Not just in law enforcement, but community talanga. What can we do in Vanua? What can we do in the church? What can they do? Especially yesterday we commemorate International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking internationally. The theme this year is invest in prevention. So what can we do? Ona vula sawa te osa
wabakiti viti saranga
from 2019 from 2019 osa Vanua levu, viti levu, levuka, ovalawi. 6 months ago, I decided to relocate to Lambasa. Iya, vanua levu. Maduata na koro turanga na kama iwa levu. Iya. Why? Klena, no really chico. A lot of the levu chico tambangone, no the tambangone sa ranga kita na kay viti. Ituki. Na tambangone ko sa nuwingang. Then I thought, okay, how can we do this from the village setting? All the resources and support are here in Suva. What about the villages? What about the maritime? So I thought, you know what? I am going to move into the village and see how I can work from the village. So
talo tama dan numu ngole ani na bikorgo tai dan numu laki voce vera na feedback na feedback o vingo mama ira numu ngole tu
kan indambe be talo tigar tono troni visit troni abusa troni matangali troni koro na song marama song matambangwan ya sare tu ira putu bulu-bula but there is ira na bimatanggali putu bulu-bula chikikia whether crystal meth cocaine or heroin. Chango saro talure chico na idula, menita siri, ya sawa, vivo no ke. Iyo. Irsa ker chico me ker na bibi, me lako na mi bararamataki.
Bararamataki.
Iyo. Siri like lako na bararamataki, kakun lako no visa, lako talaga sona tamata, survivors. Iyo. O irsa saraduru mamai. Iyo. Where they found the lack of support. Iyo. Claro, na velo tu lote, velo lote, kita salah ko kina. Lot toka. Claro, kira na turang ni na tala, na youth, youth group, tambangwane. What can they do?
Ana kira sanga me volutin.
Goringa, sanga kede, sa kira tu mai, na kira salah ko mai braramba. O kito. We're not funded. Yeah. That's where it is. That's where our challenge is. But ni kita
magdo kawita ka ng bula. Ni tambungone and nandun.
Yes.
Itay sa pagkatapos sa chika mandana say how bad is Fiji now? And balad na kaya mga taginaw nga ni matita.
Okay. All you gotta do is see what's happening in the news. What's happening with the police. Na vi klana mate na lamba ko di mabota kisa.
Dito na mavango sa darong nga kina nakisi ni mi lamba na mate.
Iya. Na kurbuli darong nga may for orto na education na kasakune tu i kurbuli na idula na tabako na marijuana na meth. So all you've got to see is what's happening around there. Wherever you're listening from, whether in your community, you're going to class it the question is now, what can we do? So let's change the conversation and let's change instead of just talking. What can we do? So instead of trying to fix it on a national level, they go to Jerusalem.
The community saranga.
Te usaranga community, te usaranga valot, te usaranga may no mumata buba liliu. Iya, we korkoro. The clan dolo berkat bete vitalanoa ta kango.
Dino sa. Tai donna kadore message ko may single blikua. Text sau, baru tak cuma text ada singa. Di kopi kemana nak kira orang apa? Singa na Facebook page, kira live cikir, kita ngandrem main dona nomor ditaruh mai be maramatay na single blikua. Baru tak cuma text sau ada single blikua itai. Dapat na po na lebu saramanda erbe bang tagakin na drugs no di tambangone na dapat na kena kamida o koya babu na tiko mertero tiki na kango.
Iya.
Na dapat tiko na drugs. Kona kakam kabisukin.
Ngori, kla lebu na followers lebu na be murmuri to weekend So ber tambangone they just want to try it out. They want to have some fun. Iya. The other one is a lot of our drug peddlers or drug dealers, they will say anything to make a sale. Just think about that. They will say anything to make a sale. Our young children, they just want to try it because somebody says, hey, man, you're going to hire dua runa singa klana. Mama rao baya. Those are kind of things that the kids want to try out. So you know what? no whoever's listening out there, have the conversation. Nambe batikero to no luvemo, batikena in the demo, to be the lot kango. Tell the kids, before you try anything, think of the consequences. I'm telling the parents, this is the time where you remove everything. Sa ko na ongo na song na bimatang lisong the take a Jerusalem. That's where you need to start from.
Do itu ko sa seng lutu matabu bale na bising. Do bagay tu beka na dona gauna sa may lulungan beka ya tabar numero meron ni bangka gato takatale. Baka takatale na bubale na lutu ya bisinga. Kira beka bi tay.
Gori no no ko kira me kim de na Levon na tatala. Kim do sa Tala. Do bang kira do bang tanga no pulpit every Sunday or Saturday. Mo kira sa nga beruto na bubale. Iyo. Ni Vakariba vita na koloko don't dambe batikinum do matabu vale tiga buta kaya iyo gibabra na bungo na be matabu vale na be lo ni koro from turanga ni koro ni do da kana boss ni koro baya re-emphasize iyo uno taki that time between 7 o'clock you having your Bible session or no mo luto batikinum do matabu vale iyo kuni luto nga Tarong sa nataro, isa sa wada bichuga na huli ni ko. Wata na mutakadaka.
Right.
Yes. You have that conversation. You have that talano. Use that time with your family. Start at 7 instead of just praying or whatever it is. Have 10-15 minutes. Isa. Dora kambe kada biko ni kuwa. Dora kayo besheta ni kuwa.
Tuklatsu naman ni ko kawiti.
Iya.
Di na sa. Ya pamuta ni bormo chuma so ya ratu mai luwaki. Single lebu di kuah bina boleh besar itu akan lebih baik. Kini kata orang ciko buana nonton bulan itu kayak single lebu di kuah Kalesi Volatabu na drug free World Fiji Founder ka ngandreva memai waktu titik ni tuku membalik tanah rerbaki ni kena banget taki na Waigaga ni bebe kamatini taki na single lebu di kuah. Waktu tal kita pakai orang noni taruh cenggur reni gesi mata cengmai nonton live page nama tadi kon. Dona taruh cenggoy telem Andrew Roko Wongo ya baka may biti na drugs go. Kan dina tiko na job na bitambana ni Vakariba era chigara non tabanua ngona tarominanti.
Wow, good question. Good question. Okay. So I'll tell you the drug history. So this is not new drugs. Let me tell you right now. This is not new drugs. So 1800 when alcohol when alcohol came into the country with the Europeans, when they bring it exchange, we were giving our land away for alcohol exchange. This is the 1800s. 1879 or the Indian dentures, when they came in na marijuana in India. That came into Fiji. 1978, heroin was seized here in Fiji. 1978. 1978. 2 kilos of heroin was seized here in Fiji. Then 2000, 351 kilos was seized of heroin was seized here in Suva. 300. That's a lot of heroin. Then you had 2004. We had the biggest meth lab bust that happened here in the southern hemisphere. That was 1 ton. 2011 gave the first media report was sniffing on the glue. Sembara matang ni ada mana sniffing glue. Okay, 2011. Nada makin tu sniff tu kira. Maka samtang do locally we si bango do tarungan before glue came in. What were we sniffing? Kalau tu kena mayar teman-teman kasi na benzini. That incident 2011 bagi dorongan lelai bagi viewer. She was caught with sniffing glue. 2014 LSD was found here. In 90, somebody ordered it from Hong Kong. That's how they actually found it. That was 2014. 2018, cocaine was washed up on the shores of right? 100 bricks, whatever it may be. But Colorado, that was reported. They reported 100. Only 39 was seized, 61 bricks. But cocaine in 2018, ecstasy was found as well. was seized during that time. Ecstasy tablets, street value of $10 million US. Then, 2019, synthetic drugs K2. That was found here. That's K2. Synthetic drugs is your lab cooked marijuana. Naglomani lab. 2023 fentanyl. Fentanyl is what it's like 20 times worse than Valium, So there was 200 kilos of the precursors were found. There was 2 Asians. They were here in Suba, in Fiji for 3 months. They were flying in and out of Suba. Then they were expelled, wrongly arrested to my Honolulu, US, and they were found with 200 kilos of precursors of fentanyl. That 200 kilos can kill up to 25 million Americans. But they were here in Fiji flying in and out. 2023, ketamine was seized last year in August. July, August. Danoanelao, she was seized with 15 vials of ketamine and needles. So this was in Singatoka. And then last year as well, liquid meth. This is before we even talk about this, the big bust that we had here in 2024. So to answer your question, this is not new drugs. This has been here. We don't know who to report it to, or a lot of things happens on the down low. So we need to encourage people. Just because this is going to affect your children. This is going to affect Fiji. It is already affecting Fiji. Ketamine. Okay, ketamine is like a horse tranquilizer. But it is used during surgery, like anesthetic, But it's a lot worse. It's a lot more. But this, it's actually what you call a date rape drug. So when somebody is injected with this or whatnot, they have a blackout for 24 hours. They don't know what's happening to them. So, some of the drinks get spiked. So ketamine is another drug. But they are injecting this into their system, so it's on the streets. This is this is not happening in America, Australia, New Zealand. This is Fiji. This is what's happening here. So where they were finding it, and I remember the police were saying, some of these the vials that were found in some bus stop or whatnot. But this raid was last year in August. 20 vials. 20 vials and but they can izula. So that was in Singatoka. Not here in Singatoka. That was found in Singatoka.
Vi kemi kata bombo tani tuku bimbi wande tachiko maramatai Kalesi na singwirani kuwa dakilali utu na maruana evang taki pakakikina na alcohol kina tandumana nonda benua synthetic drugs. Madal takamanda wakatito muna na drago. Synthetic drugs.
Synthetic drugs. Synthetic drugs are lab cooked drugs. So this is, there are chemists out there, so they're always looking at ways to, come up with new line of drugs. So what the K2 is a street name for marijuana cooked. Marijuana that's cooked in the lab. It's more potent. It's tablet form. Which is marijuana, which is smoke. This is literally tablet form. And they are, we are so far behind these chemists, these drug dealers, these whoever it may be that's peddling it. So how do we counterfeit that? How do we protect ourselves? Like it goes back to as family. Open the door. Let's see. It doesn't look right. Okay, trust your instinct more than anything. Pick up the phone. But we see it and we just look the other way. Oh, it's okay. Somebody else will do it. I am sorry. It can't happen now. Because in urban areas, out in the outer islands as well. Tamani.
Portanto, mayo sembulai medaka na death penalty na mundo bagando kina drugs victim to talaga William Elda ndora kabina kabikenda ditumutumu menda daw patarungir na lumenda da bisinga na lotu bakabubale bombotini ndora kada dor menda vulme kina wag taka chiko tentu siro soki na single budi ko televu bina volim sar na bewosei Kiringa vi irnangasin lutu kaya raunin dua bata kaya raunin rando bata era kena baluti sa pambuta na lutu nduan nga na rauni walian lengongo ya menda lutu boya lo ko indina apa ko na chuma yo titu shirasoki na singa levu nikua kembalitai na kena tauriti ko na wai nganga levu maternitaki na nomurai mandanga na mas ntona banua na turute kemekena se nero itu tunga basi kana nonta banua se ke pakai pambuta ri nonta banua ke pakai pasanggar ti nonta banua dapat nomurai na buni rona tikina.
Okay. 2019 when we first started, I'm going to get to book and then we did our research. Because sometime 2004, that's 20 years ago. The biggest meth lab was found here in Fiji, and that was biggest in the southern hemisphere, bigger than Australia, bigger than New Zealand. It was here 20 years ago. So when they seized it, it was already functioning a few years before that. Yes. Already. So, you know what? I am not talking about something that's new. This is old. In the comfort of your home, listening to the radio. You knew this was happening. That was 20 years ago. Then, Fiji, there's over 330 islands here, right? There's 6 million liters of water that surrounds Fiji. We don't have law enforcement to protect what was happening out there. We don't have enough Navy, police, military, whatever it is, to be the eyes and the legs on the ground. That's why it is so crucial when the inspire, empower our teachers, churches. If you see something, you know what's happening. Nandi, when they did the Caesar this year, just, the two... The big God, 4.8 tons. Wherever it may be. A journalist like Canada, she was following a trail. Canada was another place where drugs were coming in container load, the crystal meth. Yes. Because why? Because it is so easy for Fiji to transit this container load of drugs, wherever it may be, from those countries, Asia, Canada, wherever it may be. Our legislation, our border security, there's so much water around Fiji, we can't police what's coming through. We talk about law enforcement not doing their job. I'm sorry. Some of them, they don't have the power. Border security, do they have the power to go in and seize a boat that's found with drugs? That's the biggest question that we need to find. Does police have the power to go into ports to actually search a container? They don't have authority in the port. There's a separate unit here. So, there's so many things. So the drugs, they come through the water, whether it be container or through those super yachts, they drop those bales of cocaine wherever it may be, or through aviation as well, through flight. We're like an open, safe haven for these drugs to come through Fiji to Australia and New Zealand. The thing is, Australia and New Zealand, they have the biggest demand for crystal meth and cocaine right now. Yes. Huge demand. They will pay big dollars. So if we talk about cocaine, to buy one, so they from Mexico, if it's like the Mexican cartel, they send it through 1 gram of cocaine is $8 on the streets of Mexico. But by the time it comes through Fiji and goes to Australia, you're looking at $500 for that 8, just that 1 gram. 1 gram. For a brick, which is 1 kilo, it's $250,000 to 300,000 Australian dollars. So the money, we need to talk about the economy that drives this thing. A lot of unemployment here, a lot of poverty here. When this drug cartel come and tell you, you know what, I'll give you $50,000 just to look the other way, we'll ship this through. You easily swayed. If you're only looking at 300 or 500, you get your weekly wage. And somebody offers you 50,000, what are you gonna do? So it comes down to that person. What do we have to protect our people?
Ito besar tinggal na ulutang ni vitalo ni singlim ko. Tayo, buso siya, tarong na ron tarong batani, mo tele na tarong sa singlim ko. Kiba ko nataka tigiraw, mo taka tigiraw na port erua entry points mbalitan liam daga non do benua do benua ya. Erna drop tanga kina na bikak. But satu na mon lim na GPS ka ya. Drop tanga kina tu kina signala kena dabali. Arang ngole kina relay pick mutasar. Kiba kar mania do mai na nonta mata sawa na point na port batake na rorin wanga bukai. Dapat numa meron ni banga ngavataki ena ken zurumbo teme non do benua ena ron na port of entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, first of all, we need to change our legislation. The what power? We need to recognize, we need to strengthen and change the power that border security has, the police has it. But at the same time, you know what?
Yeah.
Right. Let's use our villages.
Yeah.
Let they be the eyes and the legs.
Yeah.
Right? To report this. There is so many entry points. A lot of beach, a lot of ports that is unsupervised. Yeah, there's not monitored where this thing comes through. But you have villages. Right? Yeah, whoever it may be. Let them be the eyes and the legs for the police, the law enforcement. Because law enforcement can't fix it all. Yeah. But first things first, I need to draw the Fiji strategic, the Kiana narcotic strategy for Fiji that was launched, yesterday for 2023-2028. This is our very first framework. This will tell different ministry what they can do, how they can address this on a national level. So it's not, we need to look at how do we reduce the demand? How do we reduce the supply?
Right.
How do we reduce the harm? What ministry is involved? What law needs to be reformed?
Namo kira sa may tabudi na itubo-tubong gore. Dapat numuray. Sa Rimber?
Don't say that.
Siya ka man nga?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sa doon may Macau?
Yes.
Yeah.
But for 5 years, that's the big push that we've been trying to get this document.
Sa totokan ko.
We here now we have a tangible document that maps out what we need to do. So now we've got the document. Now the exciting part is let's see some action. Okay, so what's going to happen? What needs to be implemented in different ministries? And we're talking everyone from home affairs, education, health, prison, it's okay.
Right.
What role, border security, what role each and every one of them play?
Mata ka nakadibik na tutuboy labo ni mati dito na budget. Namuray. And doon may say, doon ay umay labo bin nakasar nga.
Yeah.
And again, sangay, may voluti, na wingang nabibaw matinta.
Oh, yes. 100%. The government, the budget, whoever it may be. Let's look at the community approach side of it, from the awareness, preventative. Statistically, the theme for this year for International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, the theme is, the stats is clear. We need to invest in prevention. We need to. So community approach, not just on law enforcement. Let's look at the soft approach, which is health, education. What needs to be in place? How do we build the capacity in the church? How do we take it to the grassroots? Good.
Pacific Islands are no longer free of organized crime.
Loaded question. They are not free of, it's not just here in Fiji. So after living in Australia for over 35 years, especially working in the prison for 20 years, we were seeing a lot of diaspora, of our Pacific diaspora. They were there, and a lot of them were in custody. And then when you look at the history, it's quite a significant number of those who literally are part of organized crime there, whether it be drug trafficking, commercial quantity. So this is nothing new. So, and then we have those who deported from Australia, New Zealand, America. When they come back into the country, okay, what do we have in place? A lot of them, they come with their context. So obviously they've lived it overseas all that time, and they come, they bring whatever they've learned, what they've done, and they bring into little paradise here, like obviously Fiji.
Right.
Yeah. And they do the same thing. You look at Tonga, eh?
Yeah.
What is happening in Tonga? The drug, all these drugs, what we're talking about here and everything, what's happening in Tonga?
Tonga no le sa weekend.
Bunalilai, yeah.
Tai dona ka we tiko na ngongo wir na kanda wir na tamo eh.
Yeah.
Tai sa ore ni bunta kana kango.
No.
Isa sini bunta. Liu. Sira bunta. Ngon dona wo mo tonu sare na mona liba. Ro tamo kita kan ro pi dolo toka.
Yeah.
Sari bunta kana ta. Mo rai na boniti na.
Yeah. The media influence, the influence of the media. Seeing a lot where they want to be, it's that they want to share.
Yeah.
They be oh, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's really because showing off.
Right.
They want to be seen to be like the leader. Oh yeah, I'm not scared. This is me, and I will do it. Yeah. They're not scared and awesome. They just want to have fun. Yeah. They want to show, all their peers.
Yeah.
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
This is how easy it is to do it. Yeah.
Good.
And they like to test the boundaries. But because the mobile phone is it's a dangerous weapon on its own. Good. And if I go back to Tumutumbo, and you see a lot of the parents, they're giving their phones to their kids. Yeah. And how they don't even sanction or monitor what the kids are watching. A lot of those things. Oh, I want to try it out.
Yeah. Omo tani na nonto burbura kira nonto buno siang ni ba ko na sa satu kan nonto buno. Sa dari itu na kira ribu so na Luveda sa rapagita tumay. Na iba ka takili nonto pangata kati ko na wingang ni bibo matinta ko bibi na crystal meth, sa na methamphetamine, sa na potable and nangonongo. And no mo itukutuko na single level ko ay maramatay. Ko na methamphetamine. Ko ka reribak todo.
If you ask me that question, 2019, 5 years ago, on a year. But now, no. No. Because I read the chinko ni sasini meth in the sad those who we're talking to, it's not just meth they're using. So they're trying other drugs at the same time, eh?
Sandy.
So that's like what you call a poly user. So they're mixing like a cocktail, eh?
Yeah.
They're mixing other drugs because sometimes when I don't know who's listening out here, claro, sometimes na matening ko kana marijuana kina, eh? That first high, that first peak where that na tabako kuchiko kina, eh? And that's what everybody is chasing. So they don't get it anymore with the marijuana, so they try something else. So they do it with the crystal meth or heroin, cocaine, whatever it may be. Yeah, and they try and add things to it just to get back to that high. You don't get that same high anymore. Never the same. So crystal meth, the dangerous thing is they're mixing it with other drugs. Yeah. Ketamine, man, I hope and pray that wasn't here. But yes, it's here now. What do we do with it? How do we deal with it? Yeah. Now, fentanyl, those two Asians, they were in and out of the country and they got arrested for the precursors and they were here for 3 months before they got arrested, which is okay. In and out. What connection are they doing here? Good.
Pero boleh besar tayo mo tinila kalak ng turman vital no ay nagay do tali sigong beka nanto na mayungo ay na solution na segundo titingan no ramata kinali no buno na single ni kuha no mitukutura ramba ni bera no mitukutura ramba berle no buno kini keron no gutaro ndo na bibu ke ngoli chiko na no mo tambana ni bingarabi bondua e bibu kitikani baga ilavo ay na no mo tambana ni bingarabi sen nada buno mitukutura single ni kuha.
Class, I'm begging on, God to say to step out in faith and He will provide it. And He has been, and I thank God for everything that He's done.
Yeah.
But it comes to a chance that now we need the help. We need the support. If anyone's listening out there, a vehicle even, because majority of the logistic, it's the vehicle to get from A to B. The first thing is like, okay, how do we get there? Now I'm in Lambasa, to be able to come to Suba.
Transport in the Vinakachi.
Transport, money, like just to be able to come to actually deliver. So I'm listening, begging whoever's listening out there, whether it be a business owner, somebody that, if you have the heart for Fiji, please listen to your heart, be part of the change. We need the help. We have been doing this with no money. We welcome any support. But you know what? It's the future. We be part of that change. Right now, Fiji doesn't look really good, and we want to change that. How do we change? Instead of talking about it, let's look at action. So, instead of just sitting back and talking about it, I need you to get off and actually stand up and say, you know what, I want to be part of that fight. So we need the help. We need funds. To be able to go out there and keep going, keep fighting this fight for Fiji. Because imagine if we didn't do this. Like I said, 2019, when we came in 5 years ago, if we didn't keep the fight, where do you think Fiji would be right now? That's the scary thing. And it's clear. Emotional long, better than he like in the KVT. Willem Nani, please don't forget that. Please don't forget that.
Na boleh besar. Berapa besar turangan marah betul betul ngonele pembuat ini bimbi nonton veitalanoa, mbeletan nonton viti loman ini bising ini mataka kibaga da lomana nonton benua, da lomanira na Luveda ir na kedi susomi, and bising ini mataka itu nonton mentana valuta bata, itu nonton mentana taka bata se da velo mani taka bata na bika na numi mena va kombo kota kina se va mol mul mutai kina na kina banget kina winganga, di viva matini takira nonton benua. Turangan marah betul betul ngonele, sana mai itu kita kan itu di pinggir rabi na bukan ni Vakariba Malamala na single di kuah. Ada baka bina ka baka liu wana nonda bulangi marama televu ka founder ni drug free world Fiji o Kalesi Volatabu me adaba nonda ngono kataraba kero sa ba ni bina ka chenda veo kaningo era buning garabi tabi and singa bina ka nikwa Nikalo ngata sama de manga